Yo, so guys, welcome back to another video, and this is another NBA reaction, and this is from another channel that I've never actually heard of, but I didn't actually know if this was suggested much, but I saw it pop up in my suggested feed, and I was pretty interested in the title, and I think it could be a fun sort of reaction to do, and it is the 6 wildest comebacks in NBA Finals history by someone called Heatcheck. Maybe I should see some more of his videos. I don't know. You guys let me know about that, but and luckily my head's feeling a bit better. I'm still a bit like. It's still like certain pain, but it's not as bad, which is very good. I'll see how it feels later, because after doing a few videos, I'm probably going to be like having my head up. I'm probably going to be hurting more, so I'm going to try and just keep to a minimal video, maybe like 3 or 4 videos today, which is still a decent amount. But I've lost track about what I was even saying. What was I going to say? I mean, I know one game that's going to be on here, and it's going to obviously be, or this one series is the Cavs versus the Warriors, but I don't know. Maybe I'll see some more that I remember after the video starts, but I'm not too up to date with like sort of the best comebacks in the NBA Finals. So we're going to find out some new things here, and yeah, let's just give us a watch, man.
The NBA has seen its fair share of epic comebacks. In fact, epic turnarounds such as the Los Angeles Lakers win against the Hornets in 2013, in which the Kobe Bryant-led team overcame a 25-point deficit, or the Houston Rockets come from behind victory against the San Antonio Spurs in 2004, in which Tracy McGrady had 13 points in 33 seconds, are among the key reasons why fans are drawn to the game. However, there is something more special when a comeback happens on the greatest stage of them all, the finals, when all the chips are in the middle and when legacies can be made, saved, or erased. Today, we take a look at some of the greatest comebacks in NBA Finals history. What up, everybody? My name is Stefan and this is Heatcheck. Let's get into it. Most of us remember the 2006 NBA Finals as Dwayne Wade's coming out party. Others, especially Mark Cuban and people in Dallas, remember what they refer to as unfair officiating. But a lot of people forget that the Mavericks had a stranglehold on the series after 2 games, both home wins. When the series shifted to Miami, the home team, which also included Shaq, Gary Payton, and Antoine Walker to name a few, had a somewhat comfortable 52-43 lead at the half. They had no idea what was coming though. In the third, Dallas outscored them 34-16, with Dirk Nowitzki, Josh Howard, and Eric Dampier looking downright on a mission. Afterwards, when Jason Terry scored to give the visitors an 89-76 lead at the 6:30 mark of the 4th quarter, Cuban was probably making plans for a parade. Wade, however, had different plans. Pat Riley has said that the guard gritted his teeth in a timeout huddle and said, "I ain't going out like this." Wade started to put on a scoring clinic, while the Heat's defense increased its intensity. In just 3 minutes, the home side had cut the lead to 3, 91-88. After a missed 3-pointer by Jason Williams, Shaq grabbed the rebound and was fouled. With the Mavs up by 5 and 1:50 to go, the Diesel, surprisingly to almost everyone, made both. In the final minute, when Devin Harris tied the game at 95 apiece with 33 seconds to go, after Miami's round had continued, everyone knew the ball was going in Wade's hands. But a solid Mavs defense forced the ball to Payton, who hit perhaps the most important shot of his career as the 24-second shot clock expired. Miami lead 97-95 with 9 seconds remaining. So when Nowitzki was fouled and went to the line for 2 with 3.4 seconds to go, everyone assumed the game would be tied. But the German, though always stellar from the line, missed the second. Wade grabbed the rebound and was fouled. He also went to the line and missed the second. However, he redeemed himself when he knocked away the ball on the last possession, preventing an alley-oop to Josh Howard that would have sent the game to overtime. Oh my god,
bro, this must have been wild to watch live. I can't imagine.
From that point on, Miami never looked back and won 4 straight games to eventually win the...
Okay, that is nuts. That is absurd. So they were 2 down and they were losing in this game. And then they obviously go on to win it right at the depth. Like they've pretty much just won this game after coming back in this one as well. And then they go on to win the next 3 games after that. That's ridiculous. That's one of the craziest ones. And it's crazy to me that I've never heard about that. And that's 6. Boy, there's about to be some wild things.
The NBA championship. 5 years after the thrilling finals, the Mavs and the Heat would meet again. Though these were mostly different groups, the stars of 2006, Nowitzki for the Mavs and Wade for the Heat, were still there. This time, however, Miami, with LeBron James and Chris Bosh in the mix, was expected to cruise to the title. After Game 1, a comfortable Heat win in Florida, Pat Riley had all the reasons to be happy. In Game 2, when the Heat once again gave the Mavs all they could handle in the first 41 minutes of the game, the first title for LeBron was supposed to be a foregone conclusion. A 13-0 run gave the Heat an 88-73 lead with 7 minutes to go. But Nowitzki and Jet, though still impacted by the 2006 experience, wouldn't back down. Helped by Sean Marion, Jason Kidd, and the stellar off-the-ball work by Tyson Chandler, the Mavs cut the lead little by little, eventually tying the game at 90 apiece, thanks in no small part to some questionable hero ball decisions by the Heat. Unfazed, Dallas continued and even took the lead after a three-pointer by Dirk. The madness would continue, however, as after a timeout, Mario Chalmers responded with a corner three of his own. With 24.5 seconds left, Dirk, who looked more comfortable this time around when compared to his 06 version, took his time and attacked the basket with a lefty layup off the glass. The Heat, without timeouts, had just 3.5 seconds and Wade missed a difficult three-pointer at the buzzer. Though Miami would win Game 3 in Dallas, Game 2 was most likely what exposed the Heat's weaknesses and made them vulnerable. That would show later on in the series, especially when it comes to LeBron, who had his worst finals ever. The Mavs capitalized on that and won the series 4-2 for their first championship. In 2008, the last
good little bit of redemption, that, isn't it? Like, they lost the first one to the Heat after they came back, and then they came back in the second one. See, that sort of stuff is what leads to like rivalries in like sports. I don't know if there is a sort of rivalry between the Heat and the Mavs because they're so far from each other. And usually rivalry is either based on success or location, like if you're quite close. Is there any kind of rivalry between the two fan bases or the two teams? Because those two sort of stories, that's a very sort of interesting backstory to both of them, actually. I like
Los Angeles Lakers and the Boston Celtics met in the finals for the first time after 21 years. Regular season MVP Kobe Bryant finally had a legitimate second star in Pau Gasol, while the Celtics were led by their big three of Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen. Boston, which had home court advantage, won games 1 and 2. LA responded by winning game 3, which set the stage for a pivotal game 4 at Staples. Riding the momentum, the Lakers continued in the same fashion, taking a 35-14 lead to end the first, mostly thanks to Lamar Odom's 13 points, 5 boards, and 2 assists. In the second, Phil Jackson's group continued to pounce, with a Sasha Vujacic three-pointer extending the lead to 24. With 6:46 to go in the half, the Lakers led 45-21. Doc Rivers must have given an inspiring speech at...
Bro, Doc Rivers has been everywhere. He seems to have managed every team. How long has he been a coach for? He's just got a job at... I forget who he's just signed for a new team because he got sacked by I forget who as well, and he's got a new team. I think he got sacked by the Clippers, and now he's at a new team. He seems to have been everywhere, man.
Halftime, because when his players showed up for the remaining 24 minutes, they looked like a different, hungrier bunch. In the third period, their defense held the Lakers to just 5 for 18 shooting from the field. On the offensive end, Ray Allen had 9 points, Pierce and the Big Ticket had 3 assists apiece, while Eddie House was perfect from the three-point land, 2 for 2. Such was the Celtics' dominance in that period that they outscored their rivals 31-15. In the final 12 minutes, the Celtics continued with the same intensity on both ends. James Posey's 2 three-pointers were among the key reasons for their run as well. With 4:08 to go, House hit a deep 2-pointer to give his team the first lead of the night, 84-83. The Celtics could feel it and delivered the final blow with 16 seconds left. After Gasol had dunked on a feed from Bryant to bring his team within 3, 94-91, Allen waved off the screen by Garnett at the top of the key. Jesus Shuttlesworth took Vujacic off the dribble and cruised through the lane for a lefty layup. Going up 3-1, the Celtics weren't about to be denied. Despite their Game 5 loss, they clinched the title back home in Game 6.
Wow.
2 years after Boston's 17th banner in 08,
the
Celtics
backstory
would meet
again.
the Lakers in the finals again. This, however, was a more experienced
these have
Laker
a
team
rivalry,
as they had
big rivalry
become
between the
champions
two.
the previous year. This series was so intense, with both teams refusing to be on the losing end. So it was no surprise that after 6 games, they were tied 3-3. Cue Game 7 at Staples. While many believed Kobe would not miss out on the opportunity to dominate this game with his scoring and to add to his legacy, the Celtics had other plans, holding him to 8 points and 3 for 14 shooting in the first 24 minutes. However, the fact that both teams scored only 74 points in the first half is a testament to the defensive intensity of both teams that night. Though a 6-point lead is nothing to get all that worried about, home fans began preparing for the worst when Boston extended their lead to 13 in the third quarter, 49-36. This type of lead lead for a second half of Game 7 of the finals is huge. Fortunately for the Lakers, they managed to regroup and respond with a 9-2 run. They actually won the quarter, 19-17, with Kobe and Odom combining for 11 of those points. In the fourth, the battle continued. Then, with a little over a minute and a half to go, perhaps the most underrated basket of the game, a triple-teamed Gasol managed to get it to go, putting his team up by 6, but the drama was far from over. A three-pointer for the Celtics followed that came not from Allen or Pierce, but rather from Rasheed Wallace. Celtics down by 3. What came next is perhaps one of the most memorable shots in Laker history. After a pass from Kobe, Ron Artest, aka Meta World Peace, hit a 3 to restore his team's 6-point lead with 1 minute to go. Game over.
When did he retire? And when did he change his name to like World Peace? Was that after he retired? Because I remember hearing about that, and I just found it so funny.
Right? Wrong. Shuttlesworth drained a 3 on his own to once again make it a 3-point game. After a foul, Kobe sank 2 from the line, but the Celtics responded with yet another 3, this time from Rondo. Vujicic, one of the fall guys from the 08 Game 4 defeat, now had a shot at redemption. Redeem himself he did. With 11.7 to go, he hit 2 of 2 from the line to put his team up by 4. Ball game. Lakers get banner 16. Though it's true that the ending of this game was an all-timer, it shouldn't overshadow the fact that it was actually a comeback win for the Lakers, especially considering that it was a low-scoring affair and that the Lakers' 13-point lead didn't come early in the game but rather in the third quarter. Though all comebacks mentioned so far included a blown lead of at least double digits, there have been some situations in the finals in which even a 5-point comeback can lead to glory, especially if it's erased in just 23 seconds at the end of the game. Look no further to what happened in Miami 7 years ago. In Game 6 of the 2013 finals, the San Antonio Spurs looked like they had the Heat's number. So when Manu Ginobili sank 1 of 2 free throws to put his team up by 5 with 28 seconds remaining, it wasn't surprising that some fans were leaving the arena.
So I remember seeing this, like the fans leaving and then they try getting back in and they're not allowed back in. That's the greatest thing. Thank you to the people who like run the stadium for not letting them back in. Because fans like this don't deserve to experience these moments, and I mean that. Thank God for the people at the stadium.
And that yellow tapes and ropes came all around the court. In a desperate attempt, LeBron quickly shot a 3, which was way off, but the Heat retained the ball and James got a second look from deep, and he drained it. 2-point game with 20 seconds remaining. The Heat quickly fouled Kawhi Leonard. Perhaps because this was his first finals and he felt pressure, Leonard made just 1 of 2 free throws, same as Manu. That would allow the Heat to send the game to overtime if they were to hit a 3, which set the stage for one of the greatest shots and overall sequences in NBA history. LeBron misses the 3, Bosh gets the rebound and finds Allen. Ray, backpedaling to the corner, is composed enough to get his feet set and let the 3 fly. Swish. Tie game with 5.2 seconds remaining. Tony Parker misses at the end of regulation, and in overtime the Heat find a way to win it. In Game 7, Miami once again held on, giving the franchise its 3rd title, 2nd in the Heatles era. In 1995, the Orlando Magic, led by Shaq and Penny Hardaway, faced the Houston Rockets. Though they were the defending champions, the Hakeem Olajuwon-led group was actually a 6th seed after a somewhat up and down season. So when Nick Anderson hit a 3-pointer to give the home side a 57-37 lead with just under 4 minutes to go in the half, the Magic believed that this was going to be a walk in the park. This is where their inexperience initially began to show. Not to take anything away from the Rockets, but the home team started to look a little more relaxed. Thanks mostly to Drexler scoring, the champs managed to cut the lead to 11 at the break, 61-50 Magic. Though being more than 10 points down after 24 minutes is never a good thing, the Rockets were unfazed. They exploded in the third, with Kenny Smith being the key option, hitting 5 3-pointers. The visitors scored 37 in that period, while the Magic, perhaps starting to feel the pressure, had just 19. Despite Rockets' 7-point lead at the start of the fourth quarter, the Magic responded themselves and even had a huge opportunity to ice the game. With 10.5 seconds to go, Anderson was fouled with his team up 3, 110-107. Though he was only a 68% shooter from the line that postseason, he needed to hit just 1 free throw to make it a 2-possession game. Unbelievably, he missed both, but the Magic caught a break. After the second miss, the ball once again ended up in Anderson's hands. He had a shot at erasing his previous mistake. This is where the pressure really got to him. It was clear the previous misses were on his mind, and wildly enough, he missed them both yet again. That's 4 missed free throws in a row. The Rockets got the rebound this time around and had a chance to send the game to overtime with a 3. Sure enough, the 3 came, and it was delivered by Kenny Smith, his 6th three-pointer of the game. In overtime, however, the Magic didn't look that demoralized, as evidenced by Scott's clutch three-pointer to tie the game with 5.5 seconds to go. With a chance to win it at the end, it was Hakeem's time. Clyde Drexler-Smith's finger roll was tipped in off the glass by the Dream with 0.3 seconds left, and the Rockets escaped with 120-118 win. This loss that came by...
See, this is the stuff of dreams, man. It didn't actually touch upon the Cavs versus the Warriors, I guess, because that's sort of the one that everyone knows, and he touched upon different ones. And I like that, actually. He touched upon like ones that I've never heard of, and some of these are, all of these are crazy, but some in particular are wild. Like, they've won this with 0.3 seconds to go, and the fact that he missed three free throws is mind blowing to me. But it really goes to it really emphasizes and shows you just how much pressure a lot of these players feel, and it also makes you appreciate the players or the players that make these clutch plays at the end, because they're going to be feeling the same kind of pressure. They just deal with it better. Like, you've got like the greats of the game, like Kobe, LeBron, MJ, Hakeem. Like, all these players are greats for a reason, and it makes you appreciate them more when you realise just how much pressure these good players will feel. Like, the players that are missing these kinds of shots makes you appreciate the fact that these greats make them shots in them sort of moments.
By a 20-point comeback, and 4 straight missed free throws devastated the Magic, who were swept by Houston. So, in the middle of this year's finals, hopefully this can serve you as a reminder that anything can happen, and that NBA drama is always unpredictable. That's it for now. Subscribe and talk.
I mean, look, the Heat are 2 down, and there was who was at the start who was 2 down? Was it? It was the Mavs versus Miami Heat. They were down 2, weren't they? The Heat were down 2, and then they came back. I mean, look, the Heat down 2 again. Is that foreshadowing, or like? I mean, the Heat do look a bit like they're struggling. Or they look like they're struggling a lot against the Lakers. But maybe with their players coming back with Bam and Dragic, hopefully they are back. We could see something spectacular, man. You never know. And I hope so. I kind of want the Lakers to win for LeBron, but if the Heat make it 2 at a piece, and then the Lakers go 3-2, then a 3-3, I mean, that's wishing for a lot and asking for a lot, but you never know, right? It was funny to see why they didn't allow those Heat fans to go back in for OT. Yeah, that's good, man. I actually rate that. The T-Mac, if he had luck, championship in 2003 with Duncan, chip in 2005, 10 All-Star appearances, 1 final MVP, and 2005, and a second round appearance. Yeah, man, that's sad. Oh, my alarm's going off. I'm recording very early. Well, that's great timing, isn't it? For fuck's sake. Yeah, I'm recording at 8 AM. I woke up very early today, so I thought, let's record early and let's just get the reactions out early, I guess to say. Let's get the fuck out of me. I don't know if you could even hear that, but came out of nowhere. I still get chills every time I see Alan hit that shot. I'm excited for the finals this year. Is it me? Oh, the video's getting longer. Who will win the Lakers or the Heat? Like Lakers with light Heat. I mean, yeah, Lakers probably are. Nothing tops 2016. Yeah, the 2016 was wild. I like that he missed it out though, because you hear about it a lot, and rightly so. It's an incredible moment, but I do like how he's touched upon different ones in comparison to the sort of the Warriors, Cavs that everyone knows about. But hopefully you guys enjoy this reaction. Channel's doing really well at the moment. I obviously want to continue, and I'm hoping you guys stick around for the journey, because I'm still really enjoying these basketball reactions. I don't want people thinking I'm going to stop these reactions, because I'm not. The basketball reactions is always going to be the sort of, not the premise, the sort of mainstay on this channel. No matter what else is doing well, this will always be the sort of the focus, I guess you could say. And yeah, if you guys continue to enjoy and stick around, I would really appreciate that. But yeah, thank you for all the support, and until next time, like, subscribe, peace.